Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the session on learning data analytics using Excel. This is the day two of this session. Yesterday, we had started this series on how to do analysis in Excel when we have a data. So, if you have missed out the previous day session, the link of watching the recording will be there in the description of this video. So, you can check the link in the description and watch the previous day recording also and this day also. Okay, so now I'll be sharing my screen and on the screen you will see the Excel. If you wish to download the Excel for practice, the link to download the practice file is also there in the description. You can see, and those who are joining live, I will share the practice file in the chat. You can download it from there itself. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen and directly we'll start with the basics of creating a dashboard or doing data analytics in using Excel. Okay, so I believe my Excel is visible to everyone. You can see the Excel, right? Yes, yes. Okay. Now see, we have a data. Those who are joining today for the first time, I will just walk you through the data first and what we did yesterday, and then we are going to start with today's session. So this is the data which I had taken from, it's a dummy data for a superstore, okay, a e-commerce superstore. And basically what we are going to do is we are going to analyze this data for the various important factors a business would like to know about the data, like the sales, profit, and all these things, okay. So if you see that it has 21 to 24 columns actually and 9,995 rows. So it's a huge data and the data is spread across 4 years. So it is from 2014 to 2018. These are the years that we have from the data, right? So these are the different years that we have in the data. So first of all, I will start by creating a year from the date. So if we have a date or a date, and I want to extract the year from the date. So we have years over here, and we want to extract the year. Actually, this data is a little bit corrupt because 2022 and 23 is not there. 22 has to be replaced by 16. So I'm just doing this correction. You also do this correction in the data source. So 2022 replaced with 2016 and 2023 replaced with 2017. So 2022 replaced with 2017, 16 and 2023 replaced with 2017. Okay, now we have this data. And now we will use a text function to extract the year from the uh, date. Okay, so this will be a new concept for everyone, those who are learning Excel. So is equal to text. Basically, text function is used to format any text to convert a value to a text. So what we are doing is this a date and we have selected the date. From the date, I want the date to be in the year format. So I will say y four times and close the bracket. So what do you see is we get a year in the year column. So is it, have you understood this or you want me to repeat or show you the formula? If you want me to repeat, you can write down repeat in the chat box. I will repeat it if you want me to repeat what I did in the year column. Okay, repeat. So see what we have a order date. Okay, now to analyze the data, what I want is I want the year to be extracted from the order date. So what I did is I inserted a new column. I will insert a column with a month also. We will extract the month also. So control and plus key when you click on any column and when you press control and plus it will control shift and plus it will insert columns. So what we can do is we can insert that we can extract the day, month, and year from this date. Order date, we are going to extract the day, month, and year. So year I had done by typing this formula is equal to text, then selecting the date and comma, putting a comma and putting the y for four characters. I wanted the four numbers in the year 2016, 15, 14 like that. Now I want to extract the month. So what I will do is I will again write the text function, open the bracket. In the value, I will select the order date. I'll put a comma. And now I want the three characters from the month name, three characters. So I'll write MMM. Okay. So it is the format that we are defining for the month to be extracted, and we'll close the bracket. And now what do you see is that we are getting the abbreviation of the months. So November, June, October. Okay. So triple M, yes. Now we want to extract the day. Day means the date. So again, I will write down the text function and I will select the date, comma, inverted commas, and I'll put DD. Two times I'll put DD. So now we have got the date. So we have the day, we have the month, and we have the year. This we have done using the text function. So now is it clear with everyone? Have you understood what we did? And why we did, I will explain it. You will come to know why we did this, because we wanted to have some analysis over the month or the year or the day. So that is why we extracted the uh, month from the date, month, year, and day. Okay, now let us see what we did yesterday. Okay, so this is the data set, and this is a summary of the data. So the column double A has a summary of the data. So we have row ID, order date. This I put into colors. Okay, so the ones in the green color, the ones with the green color, yeah, that can also be done, Harshil. Month or day can be extracted in the pivot table also, but I wanted to show them the function. So that is why I've used the text function. We can do it in the pivot table also. But there are some people who are new to Excel. So I'm covering some basic concepts as well. Okay. Now what the three colors are indicating over here. So what I will do is I will select these three and I will paste it over here. Okay. And I will delete those. Now this green background cell are actually to be ignored. So these are irrelevant for our analysis. This data is irrelevant for analysis because see, whenever we do data analytics or whenever we do business analytics, only those dimensions and measures, only those fields are important, which will give us some insight into the data. Now, row ID and order ID is nothing but a tracking number for the order that people have placed, right? So it will not give me any insight into the data. So it is useless for me. So I will ignore all these greens: customer ID, customer name, postal code, product ID. Not that important. Product name, to some extent, we can say yes, it is important. So I will categorize into blue. Now, why product name is important? Because we would like to know, okay, which product is doing good and which is not doing good. Okay. So green. So green ones are the ones which are to be ignored, the fields which are to be ignored for data analytics. Blue one are the ones which will be relevant, and these are called as dimensions. Okay, so these are called as dimensions because they will speak about the quality of the data. They'll speak about the quality of the data. And the brown ones are basically called as measures, and they talk about the quantity, or we can say the value. Okay. So as you can now you can see this order date, ship date, ship mode, segment, country, city, state, region, category, subcategory, product name. These are the different fields that we have. Okay, so these are the fields that we are going to use for the analysis. We are going to summarize this data and present it so that the management can take decisions based on our summarization of the data. Okay. Now, yesterday, what we did is we did this, okay, and I had created a pivot table from the data. And those who are new to this concept of pivot tables, let me explain you again what is a pivot table. Pivot table is nothing but a summary, okay, of the entire data. It's a summary of the data which shows you various things. Okay, so it's a summary of the data and how you can create a pivot table, that I'm going to cover now. Okay, but this is a sample of what we did yesterday. Okay, now it is a dynamic dashboard. Let me just show you. Okay, this is the sheet which is not useful. These we will rename as pivot table. The data which I've shared in the link and in the chat, it's empty. It's only the data set. You have to create the pivot table and the recommendation. This was the recommend. This is also we did yesterday. Okay. So you can watch the previous day recording and do how to do this. Today I'm starting with something new as we are already late today. So what we'll do is we will create another pivot table, okay, and I will call it as summary tables. Okay, so we'll call it a summary tables. So we have a data and now we want to do some analysis around sales. Okay, now first, before creating a dashboard or before doing data analytics, we have to create some build, we have to build some logics. Okay, so what logics we can build? We can see that we have dimensions and we have measures, but first, we should understand that what is the objective of doing an analysis of the data. The objective is decision making. So suppose assume that you are the CEO of your company, of the company that you are going to analyze. And as a CEO, what numbers you would be interested in looking. Okay, so if someone can put me in the chat box as a CEO, what numbers, which numbers you will be more interested into getting an insight into. Okay, it can be what all the numbers, sales and profit, correct? So sales is called as the top line and profit is called as the bottom line. So we would like to know the sales and profit, and along with the sales and profit, we would like to know the other things also. But in this data, only the sales and profit and discount and quantity is available. Okay, so these are the four uh, things that we have with the data. Okay, so now what we'll do is we will create a summary table. And for that, I've already created a sheet, which is a blank sheet, and I've named it as a summary table. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the data source and I'm going to go to insert option, and then we'll select pivot table. Okay, and now it will give me two options, from table or range and from external data source. So we have the data in front of us, so we'll select from table or range, and automatically it is selecting the entire data. Okay, it is selecting the entire data, which I have named this as DT. I have named this data as DT. Okay, now how to name a data range? Okay, so this again is important, and let me show you how to name a data range. So first you select the entire data, Control A you press. Now what you do is you go to the formula tab, and in the formula tab you will get something called as name manager. Now when you click on name manager, you can see that there is a window, a dialog box which has appeared, name manager. Okay, and you can see DT over here. Okay, in your sheet DT will not be there. So what you'll do is you will click on new, and in the new, I am getting a recommendation of the name Cisco SP because that is the active cell. So it is taking this. But what I can do is I can say this is a data source. So this is a data source. I'm writing this as data source and it refers to this DT. Okay. And I'll click on OK. So I've created a name for my table. Okay. Now what is the use of this? So this actually will help you in many things. Okay. Now let us come to the summary table and go to insert. And now when I go to insert and pivot table, I select from table and range. It will ask me where is the table and range. So what we can do is we can directly give the name data source. Now when I give data source, I've not selected the data, but when I click on OK, it will create the pivot table. Can you see that the pivot table field has come and the layout has come? Yes. Can you put yes in the chat box, everyone? Okay, we did not select the data from the original sheet, but we just named the data as source data, which I have given. And from the source data, it allowed me to create a pivot table. Have you understood this concept? Yes. Now, what we need to do is we are going to analyze this data. So this is basically in this format. What I prefer is let puts this in the left hand side corner so that it is visible and it is taking only one place. Now this pivot table is starting from here. What I want is I want the pivot table to be started from here. Okay, so we can shift the pivot table once we create a pivot table. Now, what is a pivot table? Pivot table is a summary sheet. Now, all these fields, all the columns which are there in the Excel, they are appearing over here. Correct? Now we will decide ke what to put where. So we have filter, column, rows, and values. So first we will start with the last option, that is the value. So in the value, as you all understand, that value means something in numeric number, and there is a symbol of sigma over in the value. So what we'll do is we'll put the numerical data in the values. And now in the numerical data, we have quantity, we have discount, we have profit, we have sales. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting quantity and putting the values. Okay. Now in the Excel, in my Excel, what do you see? What do you see? In my Excel, what do you see? Sum of quantity, 37,873. Do you get this 37,873? Now, what is that? What is this number representing? Can anyone tell me? You can unmute and answer, or you can write in the chat box whatever you are comfortable with. If you unmute and answer, you will be better. Someone who would like to answer. What is this 37,873? Total of quantity sold. Yes, Chetan. It is the total of quantity sold. But now I want to now know, like, I want to see the year-wise breakup of this quantity and also the region-wise breakup, like which region we have done what sales. So to get the details and to get the breakup of this quantity, what I'll do is we had created the year column, and year column we'll put in the columns. So now do we see the breakup? Okay, we see the breakup. So there is a value error over here. Okay, let me see why we are getting a value error. And if you put it in the row also, we'll get this. Okay, we can just look into this, why we are getting this error. See, this is the order date. Okay, and here there is some value. There is only, but 22 I had changed to 16. Just a minute. There is no 22. Okay, maybe. Okay, so this row ID is having the number over here, but okay, that is okay. Okay, not a problem. So what we'll do is we'll go to the sheet summary tables, and we have created this summary table. We have to select the years. Yeah, so I had selected year only now. So now what we'll do is this pivot table, I want to put it on the left hand side. Okay, on the starting of the sheet. So I put it over here. Now you will see that the panel has gone, correct? So what I'll do is right click on this and click on show field list. Show field list. Okay. Now I'm removing the year. I'm taking the order date. I'm taking the order date. Okay. In the rows. Order date. We have to take the order date in the rows. And when you take the order date, you get the date, individual dates. You can see that we have got individual dates and what order was put on individual date. Okay. Now see, we have added the order date, but order date is showing us the individual dates. I want to see the year. So what we can do is we have the option of clubbing the order date into years. There is something wrong with the data which has happened today. There is something wrong with the data which has happened today. Okay, let me just show you. the data set first. Okay, so what we did is we had extracted the year. Okay, now this is the formula. What I'll do is I'll convert this into a number. We will remove the formula and convert this into a number. So how to do this? Just concentrate over here. This is very important now. So we'll say Control C. We will copy this data and we will paste as values. So we will paste this as values. So we'll go to paste special and we'll paste this as values. Now, what has happened by doing so? What has happened is that that formula has gone. Whatever formula we had put, that has gone, and now it is converted into a number. The text is converted into a number. I'm converting the text into a number. So the text is converting into number. The data is huge, so it will take some time. But once it is done, I will show you that now we will get the perfect years. So the data is having 5 years, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. So you will get all the years data together. Correct. Now, once we do it, we will be able to uh, create the summary tables. Okay. It's a huge data, so it is taking some time and we have to wait. We have no other option but to wait. Okay, so see, if any value error comes, we can update the data there itself, okay, in the row. And mostly the value error comes wherever there is some calculation error or some mistake in the data set and all, okay. So we can identify that. Yeah, because the formula is copy pasted, so it can result into an error, not a problem. Okay, so I'm just waiting for this Excel to get normalized and just a minute. What we can do is let me. See, when you work, yeah, now it's done. Now it's done. Now it's done. Okay. Now, see the data, we have changes. We have made some changes in the data. Now, whenever you make a change in the data, what you need to do is you need to refresh your pivot table. You need to refresh your pivot table because we have made some changes. So how do you refresh? When you click here, you will get an option of analyze pivot table analyze. And there is a refresh button over here. You have to refresh it. Now, when I refresh, now do you see that the errors have gone? See, we have to learn how to deal with errors also. Okay. So now, can you see that we have proper years and proper numbers? Everyone, we have 14, 15, 16, 17, and we are seeing the breakup of sales as per years. Now, I want to see the breakup of sales as per the region also. So I'll put region into column. So now there are four regions, central, east, west, and south. And we are seeing the years and the region and the regional sales and the grand total as well. This is called as a summary table. This is called as a pivot table. Okay. And you can rename these column labels. You can make it as region. You can call them regions. And this sum of quantity, you can say sales quantity, sales quantity. And this you can call it as years, year. Okay, so we have the sales quantity for years over different regions, and this region you can maybe, if possible, we can merge and center. No, it will not change because it is a part of pivot table. Okay, so this is the first pivot that we have created. Okay, are you all comfortable till this? Are you all with me? I hope you are all understanding. Yes. Yes. Okay, so now what we'll do is we will make this dynamic. Okay, and we'll make this dynamic and we will create a chart also. And I will show you how to do analysis. Okay, so far we have not done any analysis. Now I want to see like which region is having the highest sales in what year. Okay, so the sales quantity is there, and you can see that the 2017 sales is highest among all the years, and there is a trend going on, and the trend showing a increasing trend, but we want to show the trend as per the chart. So what we'll do is we will select this pivot table and we'll go to insert, and in the insert we'll go to dynamic recommended charts. The most common chart is a uh, column chart. Okay, so this is the first chart that we get. Okay, so now you can see this is a table and then there is a chart. Okay, and the chart is showing four columns. Okay, four bars. Now, can anyone tell me why we are getting four bars? Four different colors bar. What do they represent? Why we are getting four bars? We are getting four bars because they are no, they are not years, not for years. Years are there in the x-axis. Regions, yes, correct. Regions, correct. So now you can easily understand. So now suppose I hide this pivot table, I hide this pivot table and I put the chart over here. And if I ask you some questions, if I ask you some questions like which is the region with the highest sales? Which is the region with the highest sale? Can you answer in the chat box? Which is the region with the highest sale? Which region has the highest? West. Which is the region with the lowest sale in all the years? Which is the region with the lowest sales in all the years? South. So we are not having any numbers, but still we are able to answer. How? Through the charts. And charts are much better than numbers. Okay. They speak better than words. So अभी देखिए, if I remove this chart and if I show you this table and if I ask you some question, okay, now let me ask you a question. I'll just hide this chart. Control 6 we can press. The chart is gone. It will come back soon. But yeah, let me ask you some question and be ready to answer in the chat box. So I want to find out which region has recorded highest sale in the year 2015. Which region has recorded highest sale in the year 2015? The answer is West. Correct. West region. Okay. So, fine. Which region has recorded the lowest sale in the year 2014? Lowest sale in 2014, it is South. Okay. And see, if you see among all the columns, South and West are the zones, are the regions which are having the highest sale. West is having the highest sale. South is having the lowest sale. And amongst the center and east, now suppose I want to compare only the center and east because I know that the west is the highest sales producing region and south is the lowest sales producing region. So I'll be the question asking the question based on comparison between center and east. So now answer, amongst the region center and central and east, which region has got the highest sales in the year 2017? Highest sale in 2017 from central or east? So the answer is east. Answer is 3441. If I talk about the lowest sale in the year 2015 from central and east, which region had the lowest sale? Central, correct. But we need to we what how we answered, we compared all the numbers and we answered. But if I ask you the same question after showing you the chart, if I ask you the same question, okay, so central is represented by green bar and this east is representing by orange bar. Okay, now if I ask you, out of the central or east, which region has higher sales in all the years? Compare central and east, which region has higher sales? What would be your answer? Which region has higher sales? Central. The answer is central. Correct. No, not east. Sorry, east, not central. Central is green bar. East is orange. So answer is east. Now suppose you have to see the legend again and again. So what we can do is we can add data label to the chart. We can add. So there is a plus button over here, and then you can go to data labels and you will see the numbers. But I don't want to see the numbers. I want to see the the region also with the numbers. So what we'll do is we can say, you can click on the data labels, and in the data label, you will get an option of call out value, data call out. So you have this, you have more options, and you can decide what all you want to see. So I want to see the legend key also. Okay. Or maybe not the legend key, but the series name. Yes. And not the category name. And I want to see the value. Yes. So now here I have the region name also. So this is central. Okay. And yeah, for all these, you can, for all the numbers, you can change that. So in the callout value, in the data labels, in the callout values, you can like choose what you want to see. So I want to see the series name and the value. Okay, so that is giving me the name of the region along with the what you can say, the sales. So that is easily we can identify by looking at the chart. So that is the benefit of creating a chart which is a better visual presentation. And that is why it is the data analytics has become a thing of the future. This is going to be the future, right? All these analysis will be done in the similar fashion. Now, how to make this dynamic? Okay, so we'll take 10 more minutes and I will complete this by adding some dynamic features. Okay, now we have taken two criteria. One is the year and second one is the region. Okay, now let us say we want to analyze the sales from based on different segments, okay, and different product categories. So what I will do is I click on this chart and I click on pivot table analyze. And yesterday also I covered that slicer and timeline is there. So I will select insert slicer. Slicer is a filter. So we want to filter this information which is present in the chart by based on the segment and based on the category of the product category. So I'm selecting two slicers and you see two buttons, two boxes over here. Okay, this is called as a slicer. So we have segment and we have category. Okay, now what you're going to see is something really amazing. Okay, interesting thing that you're going to see now. So we have the three categories, that is furniture, office supplies, and technology. And we have three segments: consumer, corporate, and home office. Okay, now this is in aggregate. This is the total sales for all the regions. Now I want to see the sales from furniture category. Now when I click on furniture, do you see that the chart has changed? When I click on office supplies, again the chart has changed. When I click on technology, again you see the chart is changing. When I click on consumer, you can see the chart is changing. When I click on corporate, the chart is changing. When I click on home office, the chart is changing. So we have created something dynamic in Excel. And कैसा लगा आपको ये देख के? ठीक है, so this is something which is the need of the hour. This is something which you should learn. Okay, and now we can try the same thing with a different kind of chart also. So we can change the chart type, and I've selected this bar chart. Now let us select the line chart and see what we can analyze through the line chart. So line charts basically shows trend. Okay, so you can see that the line on the top, it is having the highest sales. The west region is having the highest sales. Then we have this. So when I click on different categories like home office and office supplies, so these will be showing the line chart. So there is a dip in the west region. Okay, for this category technology in the year 14 to 15. Then after 15, it rose. So through the line chart, you can do a trend analysis. And this is really amazing. So you can see that the green, the central region has good sales in furniture for year 2014, 15, 16. But after 16, there was a dip. So from 16 to 17, there was a dip. When you talk about office technology, they are all increasing trend. Technology, again, the central region is showing a downfall. Okay, so through this, we can do a lot of analysis and a lot of see, this was the data which I was showing you. This is the data. Looking at the data and looking at this chart, in a matter of 30 minutes, we had created this simple understanding of the data using visuals, and it is also dynamic. So this is how I teach business analytics. And for today's session, we will just stop here, and you can do it, practice it on your own. If you don't practice, you will not understand anything. Okay. The more you practice, the more it gets fit in your mind, because this is something which is practical. This is not a theoretical thing. You can understand the concept, but when you want to learn the concept, you have to practically apply it. Okay. So before we end the session, any questions, anyone? I hope you all enjoyed the session and learned something new today. Okay. Every day, we are going to do one chart a day. And then once we are done with all the charts on all the things, I will teach you how to create a dashboard. We will combine all the charts together and we will create a dashboard. Okay. So this is all. And do watch the recording also of this video for your reference. When you are working and you are not finding anything, you will find the recording on my YouTube channel. And there are so many other videos I've created. I guess there are 200 plus videos on Excel I've created on my channel. So do watch and learn from there. And if you like something, then comment, share your comments in the comment section. So I come to know that people are watching and learning from my videos. Okay. Because this I do for free. I don't charge anything for this. I am investing my time and efforts and energy so that people can learn. And what I want in return is nothing, but you should spread this knowledge. If you're learning something and you are working, tell it to your colleague, tell it to your boss or your juniors, and they will also learn something new. Okay. So this is how we can make things better.
सर सर हम लोग को आज नोटिस आया है आज कि कल से कॉलेज खुलेगा पूरा।
हम्म।
तो जब तक पीयू नहीं हुआ तब तक खुलेगा कॉलेज। तो आप लोग के पास कोई